Here now, David Wohl, an attorney, and Antonio Villaraigosa, the former mayor of Los Angeles and a candidate for the governor of California. Welcome to both of you.
Hi, Martha.
Hi there. I want to start with last week we played a soundbite from President Clinton, which sounded really not that dissimilar from what we've heard from President Trump in many ways. And here is President Obama talking about illegal immigration.
But those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law. And they are showing disregard for those who are following the law. We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked, and circumventing the line of people who are waiting patiently, diligently, and lawfully to become immigrants in this country.
Let's go to the mayor first on this. So what's the difference, Mayor? Why is there so much hysteria over the Trump actions?
First of all, I'll defend President Obama when it's warranted. I'm not going to defend his deportation policy. I didn't agree with it, and I don't agree with what's going on here. If it's true that upwards of 75% of the 700-plus people who have been deported are serious criminals, why won't they respond to the Congress who's asked for that specific information, detailed information on exactly who's been deported and what they've done? I've heard from lawyers who represent the Rapid Response Network of lawyers that are representing these deportees, saying that a number of the people, a good number, don't have exact numbers, but a good number of them have not committed serious violent crimes. That, in fact, there have been some checkpoints in Texas specifically, we've been told.
They include 75%, according to the document by Homeland Security, says that these people are criminal violators, right? The other 25%, they say, are people who've been either kicked out a couple of times or have been told they have to leave by a certain date and still have not left. David Wohl,
or have used
go ahead,
fake documents, or have used fake documents. That's what I'm saying. Why don't they show us the evidence of that? Now, remember, too, you're taking statements that have come from three different people, but we're not putting them in a context. The context here is that President Trump has talked about for a year and a half deporting 11 million people. That is a number that we've never seen anywhere.
David, it's your turn to respond.
And so it's within that context.
Martha, let me tell you, I've seen the statistics. For example, last week in L.A., 160 people were arrested. 150 of those 160 had serious felony convictions like child molestation, sexual assault, serious violent felonies. And Martha, I've represented people for many years. And when someone is convicted, either by jury trial or they enter a plea to a felony case, a judge reads an admonishment saying that if you are not a citizen of the United States, not you may, not you could, but you will be deported. So this is no surprise to these people. The surprise is they've detrimentally relied on the last 8 years when Barack Obama did not go after people in these type of criminal raids for deportation purposes. So yes, their families have expanded, their children have relied on the fact that these people would still be in America. But when I saw Mr. Trump at a rally last summer in Costa Mesa, I asked him about some of his promises, including immigration stuff, and I'll never forget, he looked me in the eye when we met, and he said, you just watch when it comes to whether or not he's going to follow through on this stuff, whether he was serious about the wall. This man means business. He wants to protect America, and that includes the Latinos in Southern California who are law-abiding citizens who want protection themselves. So this is across the board important.
Martha, nobody is suggesting that if somebody is a serial rapist, has hurt children, has committed serious violent crimes, that they shouldn't be deported.
I think we're all on the same page on that, Mayor. So let me ask you this, though. What if someone has repeatedly been kicked out of the country and allowed to come back in, like Kate Steinle's killer, for example? What if they have no prior violent record, but they have been told by a judge, you have to leave by December 2013, and then it's discovered by ICE, you know what? You're still here several years later in 2017. Why? And that's against the law, Mayor. I mean, if you've been told you have to leave and given time to do so, then that's the law. I mean, how do you get around that?
The law is broken, Martha. The law is broken. We both know, Democrats and Republicans, that the immigration system is broken. Why not spend our time fixing it instead of terrorizing communities, coming into those communities in the way that they're doing, dividing children from their parents in the way that we've seen in a number of these cases?
But if the numbers are higher, if the numbers were higher under President Obama, why is there so much fear and anxiety now? When he was
I already said to you, I'm not defending President Obama. I'm not defending President Obama on his immigration policy.
But the point is that President Trump is being treated completely differently by the media. Go ahead, David.
The point is, Martha, the point is that the media is outraged when Trump does it as opposed to when Mr. Obama does it. Why? Because Mr. Trump is Mr. Trump. But the reality is, Martha, you know, when you re-enter the country, as you were just talking about, and you've got a criminal record, there are federal penalties for that. These should be filed in federal courts, and there are federal prison requirements for someone who repeatedly does that, like the man in San Francisco who killed Kate Stanley. And I think the mayor would agree. I mean, the mayor could well be the governor of California, and I hope he is, to be honest with you, because anything would be better than what we have now. And I bet you the mayor will work with President Trump on this issue. Right. There are multiple levels of the issue that have to be dealt with. When it comes to someone who's got a violent felony record and they re-enter the United States time after time, look, you've got to take appropriate action.
Gentlemen, we got to go. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. Thank you,
Martha,
for being here. David Wohl, thanks to you as well.